Good morning and welcome back to After the 80 podcast, proudly brought to you by the iCare Group Australia Ipswich Jets. Proudly supported by the Jets Leagues Club, number one supporter of rugby league in our community. Blakey Murrah, big weekend of footy, plenty to talk about.
Yeah, Mo, another exciting week for the Jets. Mixed results this week. Few wins, couple of losses. Tell us, mate, what was it like up in Hervey Bay?
Yeah. Hey, it was howling wind. It was a tough result for us actually, but Sunny Coast played better than us, and normally the better team wins on the day, which was the result. And look, I thought it was like to the quality of footy we played. Like, we turned over a lot of ball to give ourselves a chance to win the game. I was surprised, to be honest. Like, the way we're playing. Yeah, I sort of left going, it's not a bad result really. Like, we kind of got within 6 points there, and a Kenny Mamalo opportunity to win the game, and I thought we're nowhere near this. Like, we shouldn't have even been in that position. So you sort of leave going, you produced probably one of your worst performances, and you come away with a chance. So I'm quietly confident going into next week.
A lot of talk about the wind in the game, and obviously it was going, north-south in relation to the field, and you kind of could see that a little bit in the scoring. That in the first half they got a bit of a lead, and then the second half, going with the wind, it sort of swung. So
yeah, it was. I'm not normally one to talk about the conditions. Actually, I don't actually think it alters the way you play that much, but I've changed my tone after that. Yeah. I'm not joking. It must have been about 70 knots into our face in the first half, and then the second half obviously the same. But at the end of the day, you play 40 minutes each in the same conditions, so you can't really blame it. You know what I mean? You just got to adjust. So,
well, they're used to playing with the wind up there as well. Actually, you rarely play a game at the Sunshine Coast without a breeze. A gale.
We're not like this, you don't. I'm telling you, this wind was. I don't know what Ty took us into up in his old neck of the woods, up at the Seagulls, but I thought we were coming off the back of Cyclone.
Did that affect the play? Like, I know obviously when you play footy and there's a wind, the kicking game is really always talked about. But what about from a general play point of view, like tightening up passes and that? Like, did that suit either team, having to play a little bit more tight, or was the ball affected passing-wise?
I don't think it affected our play in particular. I thought what did is the scoreboard pressure though.
Yeah.
I thought once we got behind by sort of 6-12 points there, we probably panicked a little bit more than they did, and then you're aware of how hard it was going to be to get out of your own end purely at the end of your set with the kicking game. You weren't going to get down there, so if you started that set in your 10 or 20, you were going, well, I'm only getting halfway here at best. So, and then that sort of maybe altered the way we played a little bit, but nonetheless, we get a few good lessons out of it, and we move on and get on next week.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, a few up and down results across the club over the weekend. We had the Harvey Norman under-17s girls, big loss.
Yeah. Look, I spoke with Lido after the game. And it was probably very similar to our chats into the game. Like, they are a very strong outfit in that age group. So they were always going to go up against it. But I think with those things, you just got to embrace what it is for their development, in a sense of you to come up against some of the better players in your cohort. They happen to be in the same team out there at South Logan, who are all playing really well. So I guess it's a really good learning opportunity for our group to sort of look and go, look, we've come a long way. However, still a bit of ways to go. So,
and what's the future look like for that competition in the 17s, Harvey Norman? They got, I believe, one more round to go in the fixtures, and then an opportunity for finals.
Yeah, so the Harvey Norman 19 17s and Cyril Connell 17s, they follow each other. Essentially, it's a 7-round comp where everyone gets a bye, and they'll finish next week. So they'll all be waiting for their results to come in, and for and against is obviously massive in a 6-week comp.
Absolutely.
So South Logan did themselves a lot of favours there, and then essentially they have a week off, and then it's into a 2-week final series.
And our Harvey Norman 19s girls, big win for the girls. Newey's done a really good job there. I thought those girls, I actually got to spend a little bit of time with them during the week, and the work that Newey's done with them, you can just see their foundational skills, the mood around the camp, and he's so good with them. And so it's really good to see you've got those people involved in the club, and they had a great result, 26-10. Mate, they've got one round to go.
You got to. I think the last 3 games they've carried between a 16 to 20 point lead into half time, and it was the same on the weekend. Against the Clydesdales, they got run down and drew. Last week against the Blackhawks, they got run down but managed to score. So I think when they went into half time, it was 20-6. And I think everyone was kind of like, okay, we've seen this movie before. But you could really tell that they're starting to learn and listen to what Nui's teaching them, because they played a much more controlled second half. I think both teams only scored one try in the second half, but mate, you've played enough games of footy to know if you go in with a big lead at half time, you don't need to double that lead. You just need to manage that game.
And you really do go on with it, to be honest. No. You sort of either shell up or you go the other way and start throwing the ball out your backside and turn it over.
Yep.
Now, Cyril Connell boys, how'd they go?
Yeah, really well. Yeah, really well. They got out to a bit of a lead, almost let in a couple of tries late, but did enough to win the game 24-22 against South Logan again. So Titans affiliates versus Broncos affiliates. It's always good fun watching those games. Asher Batty, Baxter Best both got doubles. Asher Batty's having a really, really great season as far as featuring on the try scorers, and a couple of performers there probably did themselves some favours for 17's country. They'll be aiming to make that rep game at the middle of the year. And
when's that picked?
Yeah, so I'm assuming that'll be, like, obviously the Queensland Rugby League and the coaching staff are sort of watching games, and that generally gets announced during round one of the finals.
So a fair bit of talent in our. What are we expecting a few in our group to get through to that?
Yeah, look, I would suggest that someone like an Asher Batty be close to be out. So you've got Leo Briggs, our young Titans centre, has played pretty consistently. Baxter Best has had his moments. Derek Arwang's fullback there. He's a Dolphins signed player. He's had a really good year so far. So wouldn't shock me to see 3 or 4 blokes get picked for that game.
And your blokes back at Goodna, big win, 50-point win. Not bad. A good bounce back after previous week, and mate, you must be pretty happy with that. 54-4 going up against the Falcons. And I mean, you can say that the Falcons are having a tough year, but at the end of the day, there's still 13 blokes opposing you, and you still got to get through them. You still got to score points. So you must be pleased with the way you bounced back after the previous week. Yeah,
I thought probably the most pleasing thing was it was actually just a good team performance. Had a really good training session Wednesday. Did some contact work, which I feel like maybe everyone sort of left that Townsville game realising that you can't get away with cutting corners at training. So that was great for that then to translate on the field. And once again, just a team performance. People did their role. We spoke about that before the game. Just stop worrying about, I guess, how things are going to pan out for yourself all the time and what suits you, and start doing what the team needs. And it was funny how by everyone doing that, straight away you're starting to see individuals have moments purely because they're just doing what the team needs. So for example, like a Tyreek Carlo this week, watching him slice through the middle and run away and put Tom Parker under the post, it's so fun to sit back and watch. But those moments only come through everyone doing their job, whereas when everyone's trying to, I guess, force their own style of football upon the team, it becomes clunky and you don't actually get to have those moments.
Any standout performers?
Yeah, I mean, look, Tom Parker, he spent a couple of weeks out of the team just through a couple of things he needed to work on in his game, and he got his chance back on the weekend, and he definitely looked like a player who wanted to keep his jersey. So he was really, really instrumental in the win. Corey Elder's one of our better players every week. TJ Sale at number 6, again, just solid defensively. He's one of those players, actually, I think that he doesn't have all the standout moments, but players around him are better off for having him next to him. He puts other people in good positions, and you know how
it's a good indication of the quality of player you are too. Normally, like, you see those guys who make players around them better.
Yeah,
it's quite a good measuring stick. And I mean, you've seen through at the NRL, like those guys when they come on the field, they give everyone confidence. When they're beside you, they give everyone confidence, and they know how to create space for that next bloke. And then moving on to our Hostplus Cup, big game on the road. We're up at Mbye. We'll go through a bit of review of what we played. Sunny Coast, and you know what, Sunny Coast, they're a good team.
Yeah,
they don't have, they're not affiliated with an NRL club this year. They don't have these big names, so to say, in all due respect, but they're a team. And I thought Brad Henderson. He's been in their role a long time. He's a very experienced coach. He's been been down to Sydney. He's done a great apprenticeship in terms of coaching, and he's got that team going really, just playing solid together.
Yep.
And I thought that was a great display of that on the weekend. That's what we came up against. We came up against a team who they had enthused us at the start. I thought they ran a little bit harder. They just wanted to hit that little bit harder, and they got those small things right. And I thought that comes down to that quality of group they've got there.
You're going to say, like, it's funny, and I think we've got a really connected group as well from what you observe, but in today's modern world, you're following everyone on social media, and you can sort of see a little bit about what everyone's doing, and I've got a couple of mates in that team, and you can see that crew are always hanging out outside of footy.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me to hear you sort of running out against them on the field, and you kind of feel that. It goes to show how important that side of the game is.
Yeah, well, I guess there's that aspect of it. Like, obviously people are time poor these days, but I think they enjoy each other's company when they're there, and they enjoy the style of footy they play, and it's a great wrap to a club. Like, it's up my neck of the woods, and I'm good mates with Hendo, so it's a big ups for him. We just turned over a lot of ball. I think we came in at half time at, someone yelled it out, Tyler Triggs yelled it out, 30-something% completion rate. So when you're going up against a team like that, it's just...
Can you give us some insight into what half time was like? Was it a spray? Was it...
No, we knew it was going to turn around. Like we mentioned earlier on the podcast, the conditions were just, mate, it was challenging. Like, it was very challenging. But so we knew we were going to turn it around at some point. And I thought that showed. Like, we came out in the second half, they couldn't get back down our end. Like, it was sort of, I think we just ran out of gas in the end. Like, I think we sort of just that the field and the field position of battling away early. We gave away too much early. We needed to just load that game up, which was our plan actually. We sort of got away from our plan a little bit, but sometimes those games are really good. They're really good learning curves, and it gives you. I guess it gives you a bit of proof to the pudding of what you're trying to do, and now you can go back and say, this is the result of not getting these things right. So, I think we'll get a lot out of it, and we move on. We've got East Tigers next week.
Looking forward to next week. You got the Tigers. Probably a similar case. Like, they haven't similar to the Falcons. Falcons are affiliated with the Broncos, but there's no players in that.
Yeah, they don't get any players.
Brisbane Tigers affiliated with Perth, obviously non-existent at the moment. So you're coming up against a group that's, potentially going to be well connected and spend a lot of time together. It's a great opportunity to, I guess, learn from last week.
We have to, don't we? So you don't want to go back to back on the L's. So we'll be having a big week this week, I'd assume. We'll have a look at what we need to improve on. Probably dumb it down a little bit. Obviously, our completion rate, work on that. But nonetheless, really looking forward to it, mate. And what do you got? You boys got next week. You're at East. We got all the club back. We got 3 games next week at Goodna, do we?
Yeah, 2 on the Saturday as well.
2 on the Saturday.
Yeah. So our 17s teams will take on the Wide Bay Bulls in the Harvey Norman 17s girls and Cyril Connell 17s boys. And then Sunday, make sure everyone get out to Goodna. First game kicks off at, I believe, 11:30.
Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not bucking down this weekend.
Yeah, it was actually really good to not have to hold an umbrella while I was coaching on the weekend for the first time in a long time. So more weather like that, and
that must affect the blokes in the 19s and 17s. Like, a bit of rain, does it affect you more than?
Yeah, and I'll make no qualms of it. Like, we actually practice a pretty expansive style of gameplay to sort of suit our team. Our middles, we don't have these big hulking middles. We've got quite skillful grafting middles, so we've worked on using the ball through the hands and moving the ball wide, and to come out and have a few of your first games are just really wet, greasy conditions. It probably hasn't suited what we've practiced, so it was really good fun on the weekend to actually sit back and see some really good tries. So hopefully we can do that again.
Well, hopefully we get all of our listeners down to Goodna next week. Watch us take on these Tigers across 3 games. If you're listening, stay tuned. I sat down with Dion Teaupa, and we spoke all things life, rugby league, and get to know Dion a little bit. Hello and welcome back to After the 80, proudly brought to you by iCare Group Australia, Ipswich Jets. A big shout out to the Jets Leagues Club, the #1 supporter of rugby league in our community. We are very lucky to be joined by Jet number 692, and the man who last season broke the hearts of the Sunshine Coast Falcons with a tremendous drop goal effort to seal their semi-final position. Dion, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Mbye. Appreciate it.
Let me try to pronounce your last name properly.
Go on.
Teaupa.
Close?
Teaupa.
Nah.
Go on then.
Teaupa.
Teaupa.
Yeah, Teaupa.
It's a little roll on the tongue.
Yeah, it is.
It's a little roll on the tongue.
Yeah, it is.
Welcome to the podcast, mate. How's it all going?
Nah, thank you. Thanks for having me. Pretty good. Obviously, last year was carrying a bit of an injury, so got surgery done in the off season. Been going through rehab in this year's pre-season. Sorry. Big credit to Lunny actually. Lunny, Taiwan, the whole staff pushing me and getting me through this. Going well. Aiming to get back around round 4, round 5, and see where we go from there.
Good on you. Round 10, 2024. What does that date mean to you?
NRL debut. Yeah, it's such a surreal feeling that was. Yeah, still remember to this day. I think the most important part was after finding out that I was making my debut was the call to mum and dad. I think that's something that most kids, as they grow up, taking that phone call and telling your parents, that's something you dreamt of as a kid. Yeah.
How did you find out about it?
So the week before, actually, one of the halves went down, and I was sitting with the players that obviously weren't playing, and a lot of the boys were sort of giving me that look, and you tend to sort of just ignore it and like, nah, he'll be alright next week, whatever. Rocked up to training after that game, and Ben Hornby put me in for a chat, and just said, hey mate, so and so is sort of injured, you're next man up and you're gonna get your crack. So that's when I found out.
So you're at South Sydney, arguably one of the biggest clubs in the NRL.
Yeah.
You played in a half, so there's that heat pressure on you straight away.
Yeah.
Some big boots to fill. And so what was it like getting coached by Wayne Bennett? You're coming into your first grade debut, and how was the preparation like around Wayne Bennett?
Well, I wasn't with Wayne at that time.
Oh, he wasn't there, okay.
So at that time it was JD.
JD was there.
Yeah, Jason Demetriou was there at the time. And then he sort of split paths with Bunnies at that time.
Okay.
And Ben Hornby took over as interim coach. Yeah, interim coach.
Nice.
So, but Ben Hornby played a big part in my development as a player. Yeah, he sort of helped me a lot. Learn more of the game as a half. I think at that time I was sort of more of a 6, and I was sort of transitioning into that sort of 7 role, and him and Cody and John Sutton sort of helped me learn a bit about transitioning into that role.
Some great names there to learn off.
Yeah, definitely.
You went on to play 4 games for the Rabbitohs, scored a try, kicked a goal. What did I answer that try? First try in a row.
Yeah, so it was against Parramatta, Indigenous round. Sort of caught the ball from Black Dot. Went to shape out as the chore was out back. As you know, everyone's going to try to shut him, so dummied, and everyone sort of followed him, and gap opened up and just took on the inside and scored. It was one of the best feelings.
All right, I've got a really important question. You went on to make 2 appearances for Tonga, represented your country.
Yeah.
So you've played NRL, you've made your debut, you've gone on to represent Tonga.
Yeah.
What did that mean to you, and which one was the highest sense of achievement? Because I understand the culture behind the Pacific nations and how important that is to not only yourself but your family. What did that mean to you?
Yeah, far out. Yeah, still lost the words that I was able to represent my country. Not even just my little country, but my family, my friends. They were all my Tongan mates and all that. Yeah, it was such a surreal feeling. Brought some tears on the field when I was singing the anthem. I'd probably say representing Tonga was more of a better achievement.
Really?
Or feeling, feeling for me. I feel like there was more I was just representing more than just my family. I was representing our little island and all my family back in Tonga.
Congratulations, mate. That's unreal. So fast forward, we're in Ipswich.
Yep.
You're a bit of a journeyman. You grew up in, I believe, Liverpool.
Yep.
You've gone and played for South Sydney Rabbitohs. You've gone and played for Tonga, and you find yourself in Ipswich. What brought you here?
Yeah. So obviously it was at Rabbitohs in 24. Had a few calls with a few people that sort of led me towards coming towards here. At first, I wasn't really stuck with it because I obviously didn't want to leave family and all that stuff. I sort of just had a few chats with a few people, and they were sort of saying sometimes you just got to get out of your comfort zone to succeed, which I did. I took that opportunity, trying to get a gig with the Titans, and spoke to Tybo, Triggs. They sort of convinced me to come in here, and took the opportunity.
And what are you liking about the club? You've been here a couple of years now.
Yep.
You've had some great moments here. You've had some bad moments here. What do you think the club's doing really well?
I think the one thing, especially when I spoke to Ty about coming from Sydney to here, was it's one big family club, one big community, and that's something I sort of was raised to sort of always be with your family and stuff like that. So that was sort of one of the biggest reasons for me to, I'll take Ipswich on, I'll come here. I think also knowing that what Ty and Triggs and the whole staff is trying to build for the future of Jets, I just wanted to be a part of it. So yeah.
And for those of you who haven't heard Teaupa, the last name, they better get familiar with it. You've got a younger brother playing down at the Bulldogs.
Yep.
He burst on the scene in the pre-season trials. I saw him playing there and definitely held his gloves up and held his own in the role. And what's it like having a brother playing at the level where you guys are both, you're both elite players?
Yep.
What's the competition like? I'd imagine it would have been quite fierce in the backyard as youngsters.
Oh yeah, so there's 4 of us, right? So there's 4 of us, always 2v2s every time we're playing back then. Always competing all the time. But I think as an older brother, it was sort of a big proud moment for me, knowing that he was also there with me going through the hard yards. His dad pushed us when we were younger. Just ignoring all the parties, as they say, sacrificing all that stuff. Little bro was there, putting in that hard effort. So it was definitely a proud moment for me to watch him and earn his chocolates after that game. So it was a good game for him.
And what do you think? What do you think this year? How he's going to go? He's in the top squad.
Yeah.
He's played an NRL trial. Is it on the horizon, a debut for him?
I think there is. Yeah, definitely. I think it's his second pre-season with NRL now, so that definitely helps with confidence and learning and development. So I think that's definitely on his mind, as every young kid would have that.
I just have to ask that because there must be that little inkling of that goal to play with your brother one day.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
it's
definitely.
there.
It's there.
It's there.
Yeah, definitely there.
Well,
see what happens.
As we always do, mate, we're going to go through some random questions. We're going to get the fans get to know yourself.
Yep.
Game day superstitions.
Game day superstitions.
Do you have any?
Not really. Yeah. I'm pretty chill, to be honest. I'll probably say I'll always have. It's not like it's a must, but I'll always have eggs Benny in the morning on game day.
Fancy.
Yeah, eggs Benny on game day. Other than that, pretty chill. I like to just have some sleep, rest, rock up, chill. Music's on. Doesn't matter what music. Doesn't matter if it's a right boot, right sock. Yeah, I'm pretty chill.
The most influential person in your life?
Ooh. Probably say pretty easy. Dad. Dad was the reason why I got into footy. He's the reason why I've pushed so hard. All the sacrifices he did, and Mum, sacrifices they did together to sort of get me to footy and all that stuff. He's definitely been the main influence for me.
Is there one thing that someone has said to you has stuck with you the whole time since they've said it? One piece of advice.
There was one, and it was a bit true to me as well at the time as well. We had a meeting one time, and this fella, this influencer, I think from America, forgot his name, come into the Rabbitohs facility to sort of talk to us, and he was just saying, in relation to NRL, he was saying, you can get kicked out of your NRL team as fast as they put you in. And at that time I was just like young, wasn't really like, I was there, but I wasn't really knocking on the door to play every week in, week out, you know what I mean? I was sort of just enjoying the moment. I think it sort of hit me after leaving, that quote just stuck with me then.
Your favourite moment in a Jets jersey?
That's got to be that finals field goal, I think, yeah. It was such a surreal feeling. I think it was so good because we put so much effort in that week, indoors as a team, and we built so much connection there. Shout out to Triggs, he played a big part in that. Yeah, but not only to us as a team, but as a community, it felt good.
A hidden talent or one thing the fans wouldn't know about Dion?
I'd like to think I'm a good golfer, but my scores don't say that.
It's normally a good indicator.
Yeah. So, please say that.
And something I like to ask everyone before we wrap up the podcast. It could be life, could be footy, a highlight, a low light, and something you would do differently.
Okay, a highlight I'll probably say is definitely my NRL debut. I think that was definitely my biggest highlight. A low light. I'll probably say my shoulder injury recently. It's my first major injury, my first surgery as well. It was a bit tough, not being able to train, sort of watching everyone getting better week in, week out, getting fit, and sort of had to catch up. I think that was a bit tough. I was a bit fortunate enough to have so many supportive staff here at the Jets, some close family mates that helped me push through it and helped me stick with it. I was close to wanting to go home, but they helped me a lot, so that was probably low light for me.
Well, Dion, wherever this journey has taken you, we are very lucky to have you here at the Jets. You're obviously an elite player with NRL experience, and the future's bright for you. We know we're not going to have you for too much longer, so we want to make it a really successful one in the short term. So, mate, that's a wrap for our iCare Group Australia Ipswich Jets After the 80 podcast, proudly brought to you by Jets Leagues Club, #1 supporter in our community. Dion, thanks for coming, brother.
Thank you, Mo. Appreciate it.